Hi, thanks for joining me and Juan for a day of a lot of water in the desert. Now, you don't normally think about going to the desert and having an opportunity to train on water puddles and mud, but yesterday there was a deluge. There was 3 to 4 inches of water, and in the design of the desert, it will recover really quickly, but it's not always designed in that moment. So the ranch looked like a lake yesterday. Now, when Juan came, I was told that he was really, really afraid of crossing water. So I'm taking full advantage of this opportunity from Mother Nature, and actually with all the horses, but with Juan in particular. I like the horses to be confident emotionally to deal with pieces of their environment that are different. So in this case, we're going to be looking at the different mud, the different colored ground, the tracks. The truck has been driving through doing the feeding. There hasn't been an opportunity to drag it so that it's smooth. And again, this horse and my other horses, I look at it as great proprioceptive training, flexibility. I'm working today in a more, I'm not going to call it collected, but a more slower managed trot while I'm moving around the ranch. You can see from the trees it's quite windy today. It's helping to dry out things very quickly. It's amazing, even when you look at the amount of water on the ground today, it's still hugely improved from what it was even yesterday. So I still marvel at that. Now, because of the rain and because for 2 days I haven't been able to ride, the horses are in pastures, and in this case Juan is in the arena. It's a big arena to live in. But I noticed right away that the tension on the left side is back. Now, it's not back as much as it was when he arrived, but it's still disappointing because on Wednesday before the storm, I was looking at him on the lunge line. I like to try to lunge the horses once a week to look at their gaits and their symmetry and muscle development and just how they're doing, soundness. And he was feeling fantastic. Now, a couple days later, even though he's had turnout and he's been moving around, it's still interesting to get on him and to feel there's some degree of constriction on the left side. Now, it's still better, but again, this is all part of the ups and downs of the journey. This is a big reason he was sent to me, was to sort all this out. So what'll be interesting as I walk, how it manages to change. And unfortunately, because it's muddy and it's wet and everything, I don't have my usual 100% surface to really work on the quality of the walk. This stretch on the grass and down the driveway is pretty solid. But again, these are all the little micro adjustments, micro examination, in my experience, that it takes to make a really significant change on the interior construction of the horse. So that's why, again, I'm sharing this journey. Now, he is being a really good boy, as you can see, and you'll be happy, I'm sure. I'm getting the straightness of the camera, the better angle on the neck, little by little. I appreciate your patience. It's getting better, and so I'm figuring all that out as I go. So that's good news for you as the viewer, and I have to say I am having fun with all this technical part, and I have also say it's pretty darn cool how these cameras track, and then just to see the beauty of everything. It's amazing. Okay, now I am in my warm-up phase. I am not going to have him, yesterday I had walked him through all these puddles, but for me, I'm going to choose the biggest puddle that is the most obvious for him to walk through as the first puddle. So the nice thing is there, he walked right by the water. He wasn't giving it a side eye. He wasn't looking worried. So I just take that all in. Yesterday I had my galoshes on, walking through puddles with him. He was walking in ankle deep water everywhere. And so I'm curious again how his mind works, how he transitions emotionally. Did I mess it up yesterday? Did I disturb him? Is he, afraid now? I'm looking at what I did yesterday, what he and I did yesterday, and what the results are today. So far, I'm really happy. He's walking by all the puddles. Again, he grew up in a windy area, so wind is a non-deal for him. Because of the change in the sand and all the footing, he's getting a lot of experience walking on different colored ground. He was a little worried about that when he came, so that's a plus, even though, again, he lived in fields. I'm going to bypass this puddle because, again, it doesn't have a good entry point. I could work it out, but I have two better puddles that I'm now coming up to. So for me as a rider, this is all strategy. Now you see the two minis on the left? It's awesome. That mini that's sleeping was flirting with Juan yesterday. And for him to be just looking and going by completely politely, rock star, thumbs up for Juan on his adaptability to know, okay, no flirting with the girls, I'm working. Okay, this is going to be my first big puddle. You see, it fills almost the whole roadway. So it kind of gives him an obvious way to go. Look at him. What a good boy. Doing a lot of cheerleading, a lot of petting. There's no hurry. He's getting a confidence from it that's so awesome. I mean, especially for a horse that did not want to cross water. So this is amazing. Now I have another one too, another big one. And again, the horses are conditioned to go on this track because of my work I do with the arena, around the arena. So this is all good too. Look what a good boy he's being. There he's walking flat-footed with confidence. He's starting to understand that there's ground under the uncertainty of what he's walking on. So this is fantastic. I literally could get off right now and just put him away and pet him and tell him he's a good boy. So, but I'm going to go ahead. I want to work on his body, the constriction on that left side. Now, what you saw there in the transition, he was kind of hopping up a little bit. Not bad, but see, that's all the stuff. If I'd walked him longer after the puddles, he'd gotten a little balled up being unsure in the puddle. So when I went to trot, instead of him moving through himself and carrying himself and trotting right off through his own body, he did a little hop up to move forward like he was moving something rather than moving through himself. And so again, these are just all details. And then now we're working on the trot. I'm working on, him, the interior posture, how it's all relating. He's opening up his body. And I'm staying a little bit off the rocks on the road because I'm giving him a chance. The feet get a little soft, right, when they're in so much water for a couple of days. So I wanted to give him a chance to start right out on the softest ground so he could not think about, oh, if there's a little rock or something. But now we're good to go. But I am thinking about all these little details. It all adds up.